ロサンゼルス、ドジャースの大谷翔平がオープン戦で躍動、レンジャーズ戦で今季初のマルチ安打を記録し、バットで存在感を見せつけました。初回には二塁打を放ち、果敢な走塁で先制のホームを踏むと、6回には弾丸ライナーのヒットを放ち、ファンを沸かせました。オープン戦4試合連続ヒットと、開幕へ向けてエンジン全開の大谷。今季の活躍に期待が高まります。この活躍についての現地の解説を翻訳してお届けしていくので、ぜひチャンネル登録、高評価よろしくお願いします。
Hello, welcome to our post-game edition of Access Sportsnet Dodgers. I'm John Hartung. It is always fun to have something to look forward to, like Sunday's time change, next Tuesday's final Cactus League game, and in just 12 days, finally, opening day baseball in Tokyo. Until then, they play on in Arizona, and we keep on covering every single game. We've got the highlights and reaction from the game you just watched, plus we will hear from Dave Roberts and Dustin May from Camelback Ranch. And our spring conversation series continues with one of last season's fresh faces in the bullpen, Anthony Bonda, on reinventing himself here in LA and why he has become so popular with Dodger fans. And it's time to look ahead, not just to the season, but to the future. We'll discuss the Dodgers' top prospects at camp. It's all coming up on Access Sportsnet Dodgers. Let's go. And we welcome you inside our Sportsnet LA studio, joined by Jerry Hairston Jr. Jay Hair, I remember you called this a must-win like over a week ago. The Dodgers have reeled off 7 consecutive wins. Of course, nobody cares about that, but we saw most of the everyday players in the lineup today. A lot of them had really good days offensively. We saw some good stuff pitching as well.
Well, Jonathan, you know, I appreciate the guys listening. They watch us all the time right before the game. We called it must win because we weren't playing too well at the time. They have rattled off 7 in a row. They took the challenge, John, and they took it personal.
From 2-6 now to 9-6, your Dodgers getting it done in Cactus League play. Also, really good Cactus League in spring for Dustin May. 3 scoreless innings today, and afterwards he talked about it with Kirsten Watson and the media.
Dustin, just to have your third outing of spring, kind of how are you feeling in regard to build-up and progressing to get ready for the regular season?
Build-up feels good. Finally being healthy is a huge accomplishment internal for me. Being able to go out there and actually feel good while getting outs is also a big thing because it's been a while since I've done that. Even through my first rehab when I was back, it was never felt right. It was always throwing through pain, but now I'm throwing without pain, so it feels really, really good.
When you think about kind of just a normal spring training, what your normal build-up looks like, what's kind of just like the final checkpoint for you, especially knowing that this team and you guys are going to be leaving to head to Japan next week?
I mean, for me, just being able to being able to log innings, being able to just get the reps back out on the mound against hitters, keep the intensity up, being able to have the adrenaline and be able to recover and get back out there again.
Dave has talked about today, obviously you're in the conversation for that 5th starter in the rotation, but if need be, could be opportunity coming out of the bullpen, being a length guy, things like that. How valuable has it been just knowing that in the past you do kind of have experience doing both if need be?
I mean, I'm willing to do whatever for the team. I would definitely prefer to start, but whatever is going to keep me healthy in the big leagues and being able to just log innings because I haven't been able to do that in the past, I will be open to do that.
Dave talked about earlier today in regards like your slider specifically. He said that he's never seen it as great as it's been now. Like overall, what do you feel like you worked on to get it to that point?
I mean, just hammering reps. I worked on it a lot this offseason to be able to get it to the left side of the plate because I get real lazy with it sometimes. I did that a couple of times a day, but for the most part I was able to execute it over the middle or the left side of the plate. So that was the biggest thing for me, is just being able to finish the throw.
Is that more of just an intent thing then than anything like grip-wise or anything like that?
I mean, no, it's just not trying. I mean, I guess I can't say lazy because I just get too early with it. I get real excited to throw it, and then I exit early, I pull my front side, and then it just kind of dumps out instead of being able to finish through it.
How much is that sort of something, especially as you're kind of working your feel back, something that you're going to have to lean on a little bit, especially with how it plays off the sinker?
I mean, it's going to be huge. Being able to land that's probably going to be my biggest thing for the whole year. If I can land that, it opens up doors for every other pitch that I have. So being able to land the breaking ball is going to be huge.
Jerry, with everything Dustin May has been through over the last couple of years, he's had the physical hurdles he's needed to overcome, the mental hurdles as well. And we just heard him talking about it's great just to be able to throw a baseball, not be in pain. And he's looked really good this spring.
Surprisingly, I shouldn't say surprisingly, but listen, you mentioned it's been a long time since you've been on a mound, a big league mound, and facing hitters. And I've been really pleased with his command. Love the changeup right there. That's that third or fourth pitch. We know about that breaking ball, that fastball run up anywhere from 98 to 100 miles an hour. That great running fastball. So here's a nice slider, a tight slider getting Ahmed. And this breaking ball that freezes Jonathan Ornelas right there, ear and a half. Outstanding movement on stuff, outstanding command of all his pitches. So he is definitely ahead of schedule. So we never know what's going to happen down the line. Could he start coming out of the bullpen? We don't know. But the most important thing, he said it there, is making sure he gets innings under his belt this season, and all he cares about is helping the team win.
He would love to be that number 5 starter, Tony Gonsolin, another good candidate as well for the Dodgers. Right now, let's go right back to Camelback Ranch, though. The skipper, Dave Roberts, with Kirsten.
Well, Dave, today we saw Dustin May set this one off 3 innings from him. What did you see from him, just how he continues to progress and with his build-up?
I think progressing is the right word. I liked where he was at today. There were a couple walks in there, but I just thought overall he threw the ball well, fielded his position really well, induced some soft contact, and a pretty efficient 3 innings.
And of course, so you recently, when you talked about Michael Conforto, you said that he's going to be that everyday guy in left field. You also called him your pick to click. When a player like that goes 3 for 3 in the ballgame, what does that say about just where he is during the spring?
Michael's all bought in on the hitting guys and being a Dodger, and I just like the way he goes about playing baseball, and today was a good day. Just hitting the ball all over the field. Even that lefty stayed in on the left. He got a base hit, so just starting to look more comfortable here.
Yeah, obviously, you've talked about how timing when it comes to the hitters is everything. When you see the results like today, whether it's the Freddie Freeman home run, Will Smith, does it seem like those guys are just in a really good spot right now?
I do. Freddie seems like he's just been locked in all spring. Will Smith, I really like where he's at physically with his swing as well. Miggy Rowe got a knock. He's been really good all spring. Teo found a way to get a knock late. And I think everyone else kind of is falling in line. Tommy went deep again, and he just finds a way to take good at bats. So defensively, we're sound. Seeing a lot of good arms today out of the pen. So just kind of overall, I think the last week we've played really good baseball. And
also, we haven't really talked about Jackson Ferris. For him to, especially that first inning he was out there, to have 3 straight strikeouts, how has he just impressed you so far?
I just think his poise, obviously, it's 95 to 97. He's just got good mound presence for a 21-year-old ball player, first year in camp. You'd never know. So his future is certainly bright.
I can't wait to see what happens, Dave. Thank you so much, and congrats on the win today.
All right, Kirsten.
All right, fun matchup today in Arizona. The last 2 World Series champions, the Dodgers against the Texas Rangers. Corey Seager, though, did not play. He was in the other half of the split squad for Texas. But Shohei's in the lineup, leading things off. Bottom of the first, Jerry, look at this, like Ichiro-esque.
Oh, look at the manos. That's Espanol right there, John. The other way on a line, little chin to pocket, stand-up double for the big show.
Take another look at the swing.
Again, foot down, using the hands, protecting the strike zone. That is a great 2-strike approach. Don't tell Shohei that he's a better hitter than Ichiro. He'll punch you. Trust me.
Teoscar Hernandez up there, chops one to third, and this is just a lazy effort there by Jonathan Ornelas.
Yeah, sometimes we talk about concentration there. That was one of the easiest plays you will have. Nice Sunday hop. Just lost a little concentration.
Dodgers up 1-0. Dustin May, top 2. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Gets old friend Nick Ahmed.
Nasty late breaking slider.
Top of the third. It's Dustin May still out there. He's going to get another strikeout.
That tight slider right there starts at the hitter, freezes Jonathan right there. Great pitch.
Good development with that pitch. And here he gets Josh Smith looking.
So he's got that running fastball at 98 and that devastating slider. Not fun for the hitters.
3 innings for Dustin May. No runs allowed. Bottom of the third. It's Freddie Freeman, Jerry. He looks pretty good.
Yeah, this just in. Freddie Freeman is a really good baseball player. Here, fastball center cut at 97. Little Oppo Taco. He's looking good and strong early this spring. Great to see him back. I think he's ready to go for Japan.
2-0 Dodgers after that solo shot by Freeman. Top of the fourth, we get a little glimpse of the future with Jackson Ferris pitching for the Dodgers, and all he did in the fourth inning was punch out the side.
I just love the makeup of this young man. I know he grew up idolizing Clayton Kershaw, rightfully so. He looks nasty right there. Little funky motion right there, funky motion.
Ran that one up to 97 miles an hour. Also has the slider to go with it.
We're going to see this kid sooner rather than later.
Bottom of the fourth, it's Will Smith. This is also a really good sign, Jared.
What I like about it, it's a breaking ball. It's 2 strikes. He stays square. What I mean by that, his shoulders are square to the batter's box. His shoulders stay square. Then he explodes with his hands. Really good swing.
His first of the spring. Another solo shot makes it 3-0 Dodgers. Up next, Michael Conforto. He had a really good day at the plate.
The approach there with 2 strikes. Just staying on the ball long enough to put the barrel on it, going the other way on a line. I think Conforto is going to thrive in this lineup and at Dodger Stadium. Last year, San Francisco is not a hitter-friendly ballpark.
Miggy Rowe continues his great spring with an RBI knock.
He gets better and better as a hitter as he gets older. Good to see.
4-0. I mean, so do you, based on what you tell me.
It's on the gram, John.
Top of the fifth, Jackson Ferris still out there, facing Tucker Barnhart. Another strikeout.
Nasty slider there.
So he gets that one, but he does make mistakes. He's a kid. And Nick Ahmed makes him pay for that one.
And here's a changeup right there at Ahmed. I would have loved the fastball away, but Nick Ahmed, we know he kills the Dodgers. And did it right there.
Bounces back, though, getting a really good hitter. Evan Carter swinging to end his day. 5 strikeouts in 2 innings. For Jackson Ferris, top 6. Kirby Yates comes in. Runner on first. Will Smith had the most caught stealings by a catcher last year.
He doesn't get talked about enough. You just mentioned it, John. That up and down from out of the chute right to the second baseman there, making the play.
Ground ball to third. Cody Hosey steps on the bag. A scoreless inning for Kirby Yates. It's Conforto in the bottom of the 6th. How about a 3-hit game for Conforto?
Staying on this breaking ball, little lefty on lefty prime. Conforto, professional hitter.
Came into the game with just 2 hits total this spring, had 3 on the day. And then Tommy Edman from the right side. Boy, is he dangerous.
Tommy tanks. A cambio, outer third and down. You know you're locked in and you're seeing that changeup early like that and driving it out of the ballpark.
6-2 Dodgers after Edmonds' 2-run shot. Saw a lot of that last year in October, especially from the right side. A couple batters later, Shohei getting a 4th at-bat and a 2nd hit.
And give him a chance to see that lefty again the other way. I love the approach by Shohei Ohtani, understanding we've got 6-7 days left.
That's it. His day would be done. Top of the 7th, Blake Treinen comes in, facing Theo Hardy. Jam shot, shallow center. It's going to fall in just off the edge of the glove.
No man's land right there, nothing you can do. Soft contact.
Leadoff double, Sebastian Walcott.
From the Bahamas, John.
That's right.
They are really high on him. Got tremendous speed.
Sung Kim throws him out. Run scores, though, to make it 6-3. Later in the inning, runner on second. And that's a base hit to right field. Goes past Jake Vogel's glove, and oh no. They score a run, makes it 6-4. Ortiz.
Big dude getting the third.
Everybody named Ortiz seems like they're big guys.
Yes.
Bottom 7, Cody Hosey. Runner on first. It's a shot to right center.
Good piece of hitting there.
That little bobble right there. Austin Gauthier is going to score all the way from first.
And Gauthier right there, never letting up as he's running the bases. That allowed Ebel to send him there to score.
We go to the 8th. It's Tanner Scott facing Marcus Smith. Puts him away on 3 pitches.
Good running fastball from Tanner Scott.
Malcolm Moore strikeout victim as well. You can tell it was windy out there.
Yeah, there's not an earthquake there in Arizona. We don't have very many earthquakes there.
1-2-3 inning for Tanner Scott. Top of the ninth because we like good defense, especially when it ends the game, Jerry. Justin Dean. All of 5 feet 8 inches tall, but he's going to go up and get this
one.
Well,
you want Dean on that wall. You need Dean on that wall. Ending the game right there. Nice play.
Was a nice play. Good way to end the Dodgers' 7th straight spring win, 8-4 the final. Dustin May, 3 scoreless innings, allowed just 1 hit, had 3 strikeouts. Shohei, a 2-for-4 day with a double. Freddie Freeman, 1-for-3, his 3rd spring homer, which leads the team. Will Smith, 1-for-3 with his 1st home run of the spring. And Michael Conforto, that 3-for-3 day with a double and scored a couple of runs. Cactus League play winding down. Only 5 more games in Arizona. The final night game of the spring is tomorrow in Peoria against the Mariners. The time change comes Sunday morning, so the final 3 games will be at 1 o'clock LA time. All of these games right here on Sportsnet LA next Wednesday. Wheels up to Japan. Freddie Freeman, boy, he's heating up. 3rd home run of Cactus League play this afternoon. Plenty more reaction from Arizona when we come back. Plus our spring conversation with fan favorite Anthony Bonda, who's had some time to reflect on his success in LA. He's ready to do it again in 2025. The Dodgers had a few homers today, Jerry. This is Will Smith's 1st of Cactus League play. This had to feel good.
I love that he stayed square, stayed tall, especially with your upper body. Sometimes you have that high leg kick. You tend to crouch down. You do not want to do that. Hopefully that's a good sign for Will Smith. We're going to need his bat in the middle of the lineup.
Absolutely. Another really good sign today. Michael Conforto goes 3-for-3. Let's hear from him right now with Kirsten and the media.
Well, Michael, yesterday we were talking to Dave Roberts. He was saying, similar to himself, by the way, spring training, not always kind of the best time of the year for some guys. But to see you have a 3-for-3 day, how are you just feeling offensively? Do you feel like maybe you've unlocked something or just kind of heading into a really good spot now with 1 week left here?
Yeah, well, typically spring has been tough for me. I've had a couple good springs in the big leagues, but, it takes a little bit of time for me to get my timing back. And today, we did a lot of work. I've been frustrated, obviously. Nobody wants to go out there and make outs and not feel right. So we put a little extra work in, work some things out, and, just kind of, I think really what it was just leveling out my swing a little bit and being on time and 2 simple things. And sometimes it's a little easier said than done, but today was a good day, so it's a good place to start.
As you mentioned, it's obviously like a game of adjustments. Do you think these ones that you've made, though, today are things kind of you look to continue, especially just out throughout the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a constant process. The idea is to stay, somewhat consistent in my routine and what I'm thinking up there. Have a good base to come back to. I mean, write everything down that I'm feeling, things that didn't work, things that I've had more success with, and really, I mean, spring's about building the base and having a place to go when things kind of get a little screwy. So, like I said, I mean, it's going to be a process all year, but I feel good. I feel good at this point.
Jerry, we talk all the time about we don't care about the numbers when it comes to veteran players during spring training, but we heard Michael Conforto saying, yeah, he knows he was 2-for-17, making a lot of outs. He was frustrated, worked on some things, which I liked before this game, and then he goes out there and responds with a 3-hit day.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. You definitely want results. Now, you understand that results don't matter in spring training, especially if you're a veteran guy, but you want to make sure you're comfortable in the batter's box. You want to make sure you're seeing the ball well, having hard contact. We just saw that approach there with 2 strikes the other way on a line. So, yes, I don't care if you're a 10-year vet, 15-year vet, or a rookie. It always helps to have confidence, especially in the batter's box.
What did it tell you where he says he was working on leveling out his swing? Seems like it's something that maybe some hitters are starting to go back to a little bit because we hear so much about launch angle and lifting and uppercutting and everything.
Launch angle is a result of a great swing. You catch the ball out front. You drop that barrel behind you, good luck with that swing, especially in the big leagues.
Well, one guy we know, his swing looks really good is Freddie Freeman. He missed some time at the start of spring, Jerry, as he recovers from the ankle surgery, but he looks great.
There's a guy that you never worry about, especially when he's healthy, is Freddie Freeman. You know he's going to figure it out. Good to see that he is healthy. Now, we understand he's going to continue to work on that ankle throughout the season, especially early on. You see a little limp there. Maybe it's a little sore because he's been on cleats, last couple weeks getting ready for the season. But he's out there rolling. And you know what? You don't have to run fast when you hit five. Right. So I'm going to tell Freddie, hey, why don't you just hit home runs twice a game? That way you can save your legs.
All right, he's got 3 home runs to lead the Dodgers in Cactus League play. Still more to come. Dustin May punched out 3 batters in his 3 scoreless innings today. We'll have plenty more from Camelback Ranch straight ahead. Plus, Jerry sits down with one of the dogs in that bullpen, Anthony Banda. From midseason pickup to postseason star, Banda opens up in his spring conversation. The pack of bullpen dogs was one of the Dodgers' biggest strengths on their way to winning the World Series title. And a perfect example of that was the guy in the middle on that championship bus, Anthony Banda, who after 7 seasons in 10 different organizations finally found his place and a home. Had his best season as a big leaguer, and recently in Arizona, Jerry got connected with Anthony Banda.
I get a text, Dodgers, let's go, from my agent. I was like, okay. So the butterflies start going, everything starts winding up because, I'm thinking Clayton Kershaw, I'm thinking, Freddie Freeman and all the superstars here. And I'm like, geez, it's going to be kind of interesting to evaluate the clubhouse and see how it's all going to unfold. And it was like, as soon as I got in there, they immediately knew who I was. They seen me from across the field. They welcomed me with open arms. And from then on, it was just like day one was very comforting. And, being on the new team, it's almost like going to a new school. Yeah. You want to be able to break that ice and get comfortable. That way you can just be yourself and just kind of move on and perform. And, got my first taste of Dodger baseball. As we kept going, the coaching staff, pitching coaches started putting their hands on me as far as getting involved with developing a breaking ball. From then on, I think that's what really, really changed a whole lot. That changed the trajectory of my career. It's laid a foundation for me to build off of and to keep moving forward. And then I started, I was just all in. I trusted them. I was all in. And as we're going through the season, I'm seeing these results as far as with the slider and, the fastball placements and, and all this other good stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is incredible.
And to be able to do that on the fly and, listen, it's asking a hitter to change his swing in the middle of the season. That's tough to do.
It is. When we got to talking with the slider and how to throw it and what to think and all these little, ideas, it came together. And when I saw the actual pitch being thrown and actually having an effect to it, that's when I was like, this is why we're all in. These are the moments why you got to be all in with things that you believe that are going to make you better. Getting my first strikeout with it, I was like, oh my God, I just threw a slider I've never thrown in my life, and it's working, and it just made everything else better in there. And getting to the postseason, that was incredible. That was fun. It's a different beast. I tell you that. It's the different beast. Fight or flight mode is on all the time, and it was amazing to be a part of. It was amazing to see, what these guys have been doing, a majority of their career because the Dodgers was always in the playoffs. So, the first series, San Diego, Mets, I'm just like, we are inching our way to the World Series. Oh my gosh. And it was crazy. It was definitely life-changing, career-changing for sure. Yes. To be able to get there after all the trials and errors and everything else that I've gone through as far as with my career, it was unbelievable. It really was unbelievable.
You win the World Series. Talk about life after winning that World Series, your off season.
It's mentally draining more than anything you will ever experience. And so with that, it was okay, that I felt that on the flight back. Just sitting there, I had the trophy in my arms at one point, and I was like, God, we did it. Oh man, we did it. And it was just a big weight lifted off of my shoulders and, going to the parade. That was a fun time. I was enjoying myself, man. That was a lot. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to enjoy it with everybody, my family, you know, and then, you know, Kike, obviously. He's one of my favorites, man.
Kike loves to have fun.
Dude, it's the same here. Like, he's awesome, man. And, you know, what it really dawned on me was probably a week. I was already home. I was relaxing. I'm sitting on the couch, and, you know, I'm scrolling through YouTube, passing the time, and next thing you know, I see Game 1. And I'm watching the highlights, and then gave me the chills of Freddie Freeman grand slam. I'm like, God, man, I was there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when it started like really hitting me. I started to get like goosebumps. I started getting excited, and I was like, I gotta calm down. This is all season, man. And but yeah, you know, family, friends, everybody reaching out, congratulating former teammates. They didn't even know I had my number still. It was awesome.
Anthony, I appreciate your time as always, and look forward to be sitting here 2026 talking about back-to-back.
Oh my God, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thanks again.
Thank you, guys.
What an incredible run it has been for Anthony Bond. The Dodgers acquired him from the Guardians last May for cash considerations, Jerry. We saw him pitch 48 games for the Dodgers last year. He really blossomed here in L.A. What's impressed you the most about him?
Well, right away, he even admitted that he wanted to buy in to the system, you know, with the pitching coaches, telling him to change a little bit of a grip to help his breaking ball attack hitters with his fastball early on in counts. And boy, did he take that information and really ran with it. And then once he started seeing results early, you saw his confidence really skyrocket. He's a guy that he comes in, can get lefties, righties out, it doesn't matter. And now we've seen him excel second half of last season as well in the postseason. So I expect him to continue his ascend this season because he's certainly that high character guy that appreciates being with the Dodgers. When you played on 28 different teams, John, trust me, I know. When you finally find a home, especially like the Dodgers, where you get a chance to win, it's a great organization and they value you. You want to stay here for a long time. So he appreciates being here, and he's thrived in this environment.
He's always had the arm. I remember when he was with the Diamondbacks a long time ago, and I remember seeing him pitch thinking, wow, this guy's got a live arm. Sometimes it just takes a team like the Dodgers to unlock that level of success that they've been able to do. Now, relief pitchers, they don't really require that same kind of buildup for the regular season as the starting pitchers do, Jerry. So what are the goals for a lot of these relievers in Cactus League play?
Well, it really depends on who you are. If you're a guy that is required to pitch multiple innings, maybe like a long man, you're going to need a little bit more buildup. Like we saw Dustin May start today. He might be asked to be that long man out of the bullpen. But if you're a guy like a Vesia, it really doesn't take a long time to really get going. But you also want to make sure you have all your pitches needed. So if you're Tanner Scott, if you're a Vesia or that one guy that asked to get that one inning down, you may want to work on a certain pitch. So you have this next 5 or 6 days. If you don't have that changeup or that split or that breaking ball to your liking, you may go out there and tell Will Smith or whoever's catching that day, hey, when I come in, I'm working on this pitch. So remember, these guys are going to make the club. The next 5 or 6 days, they're going to be working on stuff that they feel they need to work on.
And just so you know, not to look too much into the numbers for these relievers. Last year, Kirby Yates, his ERA with the Texas Rangers during spring training was over 6, and then all he did was have a 1.12 ERA during the regular season. Still up, 10 Dodgers made their major league debuts last season. So who will we see this year? More on the top prospects at Camelback Ranch coming up in the big leagues.
Well, that's a great sign, and I love the fact that he could swing the bat. And the main thing for Dalton Rushing is making sure you really develop as a catcher. That's a short, compact swing through the middle of the batter's box. He got some pop in that bat, I really believe. And I agree with manager Doc Roberts. He's big league ready. He'll lefty on lefty going the other way. He had a lot of power last season as well. So continue developing as a catcher because you're asked to make sure you lead a pitching staff once you get to the big leagues. So continue development down the minor leagues as a catcher.
And that's what it's all about for all these guys. And Josue DePaula, only 19 years of age, but he's one of those guys who came in with a man's body already from the time they signed him. He's drawn comparisons to Yordan Alvarez of the Astros. Probably not a fair comp at this point of his career, Jerry, but DePaul has shown good plate discipline in the minors, and that power is only going to develop.
I love this kid's swing and makeup. Yes, he's 19 years young, but he has an approach as a 25, 26-year-old. He will rake in the big leagues, but he's just 19. Continue to develop it. More importantly, he needs to develop as a really good outfielder. You see that tall, lengthy frame? Sometimes his routes aren't ready yet, but you remember, he's 19 years young. So I think this year and next year, he's going to use that opportunity to continue to develop as a hitter, but more importantly, as an outfielder.
And Zaire Hope, he came over from the Cubs. He's only 20 years of age, but he was part of that Michael Busch trade before last year. Missed almost 3 months with a shoulder injury last year, Jerry. Played well for Rancho after he returned, and he's shown some really good things this spring.
I have looked at this kid swing a lot this spring training. I saw what he did in the minor leagues as well. He's a plus outfielder. He is a lot better athlete. I'm going to say this, John, as he looks, I'm telling you, he can swing the bat, and I'm going to put it out there right now. He's going to do well in the minor leagues, but his swing, I think he's going to be a better big league hitter than he is a minor league hitter. Now, I don't know what the power numbers are going to be. Is it going to be 15? Is it going to be 25? But he's not afraid to go the other way. At 20 years of age, he goes the other way with authority and can turn on a fastball.
And the other guy who came over in that trade is Jackson Ferris, also in the Michael Busch trade. Reached Double-A last year at the age of 20, Jerry. He's a guy to really keep an eye on this season. He showed why today.
I'm going to tell you right now, John, I have a lot of friends that are Cubs fans. They are going to regret that trade. Michael Busch is a stud. He's raking for the Cubs. This kid alone, we just talked about Hope. He's going to be a really good player. Jackson Ferris will be an ace in the big leagues. I am not afraid to say it. He's got the makeup, the stuff. He's a combination of Max Fried and Clayton Kershaw. I know that sounds crazy. I'm telling you. I've seen a lot of kids come up through the system, variety organization. I played with a lot of young guys when I was coming through the system. He's got that it factor.
He was telling us last year when he was at the stadium as part of their top prospects, minor league players of the year, he said he wants to win a Cy Young, so he has big dreams and big goals in the big leagues. From former Cy Youngs to Japanese phenoms, there are plenty of new faces in camp. Our spring conversations with the Dodgers newbies straight ahead. You know, everyone loves the new guy at the office. They bring new stories, some new jokes, and we know those things help break up the day-to-day routine we grow accustomed to. Sometimes they even buy dinner, like our friend David Vassay did the other day. The Dodgers have a bunch of new guys this season, and while we don't know which of them is buying dinner, we did learn quite a bit about them in our spring conversations. So let's get connected with the new faces on the 2025 Dodgers. Blake Snell, two-time Cy Young Award winner, now a Los Angeles Dodger. Take us through that process if you can. I know it was a much different process this year as opposed to last year when you waited around for a long time.
They were the first to reach out, and with that, Andrew and Gomes had the same excitement as me, and after the first conversation with them, I kind of knew this is where I wanted to be, and you know, I was confident we could figure it out to make it happen. And then once it happened, I was just so excited, so happy, because this was the #1 place me and Haley wanted to go. And to have it happen so quickly and for them to come after me and say they wanted me and they want me in Dodger Blue and to make it happen is a dream come true.
I know Andrew has really wanted to get you here for a long time, and for whatever reason it hadn't worked out in the past. But you said it was your #1 place that you wanted to be. Why would you say that? Even before you started going through the process.
I thought it was cool. I mean, Andrew drafted me. So that right there, like, he already knew, like, he already believed in me then. And then just LA, West Coast, I like the team winning. They just won a World Series, but I really believe in the players that are here to continue to win. And then hearing more about just Andrew, Gomes, the staff, and what they can do to help me become the best player I can be, that sold me as well. And then, yeah, just all together it was just like, there's no better place for me. I was born and raised in Seattle, and LA is just right here, quick flight. Yeah, it just made a lot of sense.
そうですね、フロントの安定感と、あとは自分がこう 成長していく中で、必要な環境だったりそういうものが一番揃ってるかなと思ったからです。
What do you think it's going to be like when you first go out onto that mound at Dodger Stadium?
そうですね。まずは開幕して、メジャー契約をまず勝ち取れるように頑張りたいですし、そしてメジャー契約勝ち取ってドジャースのマウンドでまずは投げて、今年1年間そのマウンドに入れるように頑張りたいなと思ってます。
I've, in a lot of ways, admired the way that the Dodgers have done things. My first go around in free agency, we had a little bit of contact. I needed a little bit more security coming off an injury, so I ended up signing somewhere else. We don't have to talk about where, but so I've had my eye on this team for a long time. And so it just made sense. I mean, when the Dodgers come calling, you really got to take a serious look at it.
I always said when we were in San Diego, part of the disappointment and also the fun is how hard it was to beat the Dodgers. And when I was there, I felt like we didn't do it a whole lot. So when you did it, you were very proud. But it's a different feeling to be on this side. And especially at this time right now, it's pretty awesome. It's it's definitely a privilege to be able to have this opportunity.
When we played them last year, it was that the whole atmosphere was just electric, and you feed off of it, and it makes you want to come here even more.
Talk about feeding off energy. You're wearing Dodger blue now.
Oh yeah.
Okay. By the way, it looks great on you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're a good-looking guy. The beard is well kept. You're just staring at you is intimidating enough for me. How hungry are you guys to be able to taste that champagne after the World Series and hoist that trophy?
I mean, that's when you sign here, it's what you're looking forward to. I mean, it's what everyone wants to do, and they did it last year, and I want to be a part of it this year.
We are 4 weeks into camp now, Jerry, 15 games in Cactus League play. What do you think of that crop of newcomers for the Dodgers in 2025?
I like the combination. We have obviously a couple of relievers that are itching to win World Series. Blake Snell is a guy who's a two-time Cy Young Award winner. He wants to win. We got a young phenom in rookie we saw. He has nasty stuff. And I just love that it's a great mixture from all walks of life. We got some little bit of young, little older guys. They're not old, they're a little older, but still want to prove themselves. I really believe Michael Conforto is going to have a great season, being that guy to solidify the bottom, half of the order, 6-7 hole. But you always need guys that have that hunger. Yes, we have our foundation with Mookie, Shohei, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, guys that have won. But we need new guys that are hungry, that want to taste that champagne for the very first time after winning World Series. So it's a perfect combination to have and make a serious run at repeating.
And to that point, really every player that we talked to said having that chance to win was the main reason why they decided to sign with the Dodgers, Jerry. Competing for championships every single year, that's a hard thing for these guys to turn down if they have the opportunity to come here.
It is. And you know what? Listen, I know we get a lot of flack, the Dodgers do, for trying to buy championships. Listen, it is so hard to win at this sport. There's so many variables that come into play. Blake Snell could only pitch once this series. Obviously, Sasaki as well. So you got to make sure you have a deep roster, a talented roster. But there have been talented teams before that have not won. We saw what the Padres did a couple years ago when they had Soto, Tatis Jr., all of those studs go along with Machado and a plethora of starting pitchers. They couldn't win. So bringing in guys, but the right guys to fit what we already have, that's crucial. So that's why they make sure they get high character guys with talent. So listen, there's nothing guaranteed, especially in this sport, but the Dodgers are poised to make a serious run.
We know they want to win, Jerry. Plus, a lot of these guys have talked about how with this organization and their development, the way that they're able to get the best out of a lot of pitchers as well. We've seen guys like Evan Phillips who haven't really succeeded. We talked about Anthony Bond as well. They come here, and the Dodgers are able to bring the best out of these guys.
And that's so important to make sure you have coaching staff, you have guys in the analytical department to not only have that information, but know how to decipher the information to give it to the right guys. Listen, I'm a guy that wants a lot of information, but I'm going to decipher the information where, you know what, this may not help me, but this could help me. So they're able to do that with a variety of guys, from the pitching side to the hitters as well. So that's why guys want to be over here. Development, the right coaching staff, and it's a really good place to perform at a high level.
All right, so tomorrow night, Friday night baseball under the lights in Peoria, Jerry. Dodgers, Mariners, 5:30 p.m. Pregame at 5. Do the players like night games in Arizona?
Yes, you like night games because you get a chance to sleep in, but also as you get closer to opening day, the majority of your games are going to be under the lights. So you want to make sure you get enough at-bats under the lights.
And this is their last chance to play under the lights before they open the season in Tokyo against the Chicago Cubs. For Jerry and Kirsten, I am John. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, pregame, 5 o'clock on Sportsnet LA. See you then.
今回の試合についての現地解説、いかがでしたか？ドジャースはこのオフシーズンで戦力を大幅に強化し、投打ともに選手層の厚さが際立つチームとなりました。特にピッチングスタッフの充実により、今シーズンの期待がますます高まっています。現地の解説陣も、その戦力の厚さに注目しており、今後の試合を通じてチームがどのように仕上がっていくのか目が離せません。それでは、また次回お会いしましょう。